What if I told you that every major civilization in human history has imagined the same thing? The end of everything. From ancient Babylon to modern Hollywood, humans have been obsessed with apocalypse. But these aren't just random stories. They're detailed blueprints of destruction that have shaped entire cultures and continue to influence billions of people today. Let's start with the most influential apocalyptic text in Western civilization, the Book of Revelation. Written around 95 CE by John of Patmos, this final book of the Christian Bible reads like the ultimate disaster movie. Picture this: 7 seals broken one by one, each unleashing catastrophe upon earth. The first 4 seals release the famous 4 horsemen. The white horse brings conquest, the red horse brings war, the black horse brings famine, and the pale horse brings death itself. But that's just the opening act. When the 7th seal breaks, 7 angels blow 7 trumpets. Hail mixed with fire rains from heaven. A third of the sea turns to blood. A star called wormwood poisons the waters. Locusts with human faces and lions' teeth emerge from a bottomless pit to torment humanity for 5 months. The imagery is so vivid that scholars debate whether John was describing literal events or using symbolic language to describe the fall of Rome. The climax comes with the Battle of Armageddon, where the forces of good and evil clash in final combat. After this ultimate war, Satan is bound for 1,000 years, followed by his final defeat and the creation of a new heaven and new earth. This isn't just destruction for destruction's sake. It's cosmic renovation, where the old world must die for paradise to be born. But Christianity didn't invent apocalyptic thinking. The Hebrew Bible contains its own end-time prophecies that predate Revelation by centuries. The book of Daniel describes 4 great beasts representing world empires, culminating in a final kingdom that will crush all others. Ezekiel prophesies about Gog and Magog, mysterious enemies from the north who will invade Israel in the last days. These texts established patterns that later influenced Christian, Islamic, and even secular apocalyptic thinking. Now let's journey north to Scandinavia, where Norse mythology gave us Ragnarok, perhaps the most metal apocalypse ever conceived. Unlike the Christian end times, which promise renewal, Ragnarok is twilight of the gods themselves. The story begins with moral decay spreading across the 9 realms. Brother fights brother, fathers kill sons, and the bonds of kinship dissolve. Then comes the Fimbulwinter, 3 years of continuous winter that freezes the world. The wolves Chol and Hati finally catch and devour the sun and moon, plunging everything into darkness. The great serpent Jormungandr rises from the ocean, spewing poison across land and sky. The wolf Fenrir breaks free from his chains, and the dead ship Naglfar, built from the fingernails of corpses, sails forth carrying an army of the dishonored dead. The final battle takes place on the plain of Vigrid. Odin faces Fenrir and is devoured. Thor kills Jormungandr but dies from its poison. The fire giant Surtur sets the world ablaze with his flaming sword. Gods, giants, monsters, and heroes all perish together. But even in Norse mythology, destruction isn't final. From the ashes, a new world emerges, populated by the few surviving gods and 2 humans who hid in Yggdrasil, the world tree. Travel further east to India, and you'll discover that Hindu cosmology operates on mind-bending timescales that make other apocalypses seem quaint. According to Hindu texts, time moves in vast cycles called kalpas. We're currently living in the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness and moral decline that began around 3102 BCE and will last 432,000 years. During Kali Yuga, Dharma weakens progressively. People become more selfish, lifespans decrease, and natural disasters increase. Religious knowledge disappears, governments become corrupt, and society collapses into chaos. At the end of this age, Vishnu will incarnate as Kalki, a warrior riding a white horse who will destroy the wicked and restore righteousness. But here's the twist. This isn't a one-time event. After Kalki's intervention, the cycle begins again with a new golden age. These 4 ages repeat endlessly across cosmic time. What we consider apocalyptic destruction is just one breath in the eternal respiration of the universe. Hindu cosmology suggests that our entire universe is just one day in the life of Brahma. And when Brahma sleeps, everything dissolves back into potential, only to be recreated when he awakens. The ancient Maya developed perhaps the most sophisticated calendar system in human history. tracking multiple interlocking cycles that could calculate dates millions of years in the past and future. Their long count calendar, which began on August 11th, 3114 BCE, completed a great cycle of 13 Baktuns on December 21st, 2012. This date sparked worldwide panic about Mayan apocalypse predictions. But modern Maya scholars emphasize that December 21st, 2012, wasn't meant to be the end of the world. Instead, it marked the completion of one great cycle and the beginning of another. Similar to how our calendar rolling from December 31 to January 1st doesn't end time itself. Maya creation mythology describes multiple previous worlds that were destroyed and recreated by the gods, suggesting cyclical rather than linear time. The Popol Vuh, the Maya creation epic, tells how the gods destroyed the first humans made of mud because they were too weak, then destroyed the second humans made of wood because they lacked souls and couldn't worship properly. We are the third creation, made of corn, and our fate remains to be determined. This cyclical view of destruction and renewal appears across many indigenous American cultures. Islamic eschatology shares many elements with Jewish and Christian traditions, but adds unique details. The Quran and Hadith literature describe the Day of Judgment preceded by major and minor signs. Minor signs include moral decay, widespread ignorance, and natural disasters. Major signs include the appearance of the Dajjal, a false messiah who will deceive humanity, followed by the return of Jesus, who will defeat the Dajjal and establish justice. The final sign is the emergence of Gog and Magog, destructive peoples who will overrun the earth before being destroyed by divine intervention. Then comes the day of resurrection, when all humans who ever lived will be raised and judged. The righteous enter paradise, while the wicked face punishment. Like Christianity, Islam envisions ultimate justice rather than mere destruction. Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, contributed foundational ideas about cosmic dualism and final judgment that influenced Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Zoroastrian texts describe history as a cosmic battle between Ahura Mazda, the wise Lord of Light, and Angra Mainyu, the destructive spirit of darkness. This battle culminates in the final renovation of the world, when a savior figure will resurrect the dead, judge all souls, and purify creation with molten metal. The righteous will experience this purification as warm milk, while the wicked will suffer before being forgiven and welcomed into the renewed world. Notably, Zoroastrian apocalypse includes universal salvation, with even the demons eventually purified and redeemed. Buddhist cosmology presents a different perspective on endings. While individual suffering ends through enlightenment, the cosmos itself goes through endless cycles of expansion and contraction. During periods of cosmic dissolution, physical worlds disappear, but consciousness persists. These aren't moral judgments, but natural processes, like seasons on a universal scale. The Buddha taught that attachment to permanence causes suffering because everything is impermanent. From this view, apocalyptic anxiety stems from our refusal to accept change as the fundamental nature of existence. Buddhist texts describe future Buddhas who will appear when the Dharma is forgotten, most notably Maitreya, the Buddha of loving kindness who will restore spiritual teaching. Modern secular apocalyptic thinking emerged during the 20th century as science revealed new ways the world could end. Nuclear warfare, climate change, asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, gamma-ray bursts, and artificial intelligence present realistic extinction scenarios that ancient prophets never imagined. Yet these scientific apocalypses often mirror ancient patterns. Nuclear winter echoes the Fimbul winter of Norse mythology. Climate change disasters resemble biblical plagues. Even artificial intelligence scenarios, where machines surpass and replace humans, parallel myths about gods creating new beings to replace their predecessors. Perhaps most intriguingly, modern cosmology has discovered that the universe itself will end. Whether through heat death, Big Rip, or Big Crunch, current physics suggests that even stars, galaxies, and space-time itself are temporary. In this cosmic perspective, all human apocalyptic visions become brief chapters in an unimaginably vast story of universal change. What unites all these diverse traditions is recognition that change is inevitable, and transformation often requires destruction of what came before. Whether viewed as divine judgment, natural cycle, or physical process, apocalypse represents humanity's attempt to find meaning in impermanence and hope in the face of endings.